I just had to raise my hand and I felt like a failure. I was 12 years old, first time at leadership camp. I was part of a leadership club where we learned how to be young leaders at a very young age and good role models. So there I was at Camp Kankura, and we did this activity that I will never forget. So they took us first year campers out into the woods. And they told us, the camp counselors, that we were going to do a maze. And I was like, yeah, maze! I love mazes. And I was like, I got this. But then they said, you're going to do the maze blindfolded. And I was like, blindfolded. All right, yay, I got this! I still got this. So they gave us the blindfolds and told us to put them on. And we did. And then they led us to this maze in the woods and put our hand on the rope. So there I was, hanging onto the rope, trying to find my way out. And they said, hey, at any time you need help, just raise your hand and we'll come and help you. And I was like, raise my hand? I don't need help. I'm 12. I could do this on my own. So I kept on going, looking for the way out, feeling my way, stumbling on leaves. Just couldn't find the way out. It didn't matter how long I kept going. So eventually I just had to raise my hand and I felt like a failure. Someone came, led me away, and took off my blindfold. Oh my God! The maze was a circle. I was just going around in a circle, and all the other campers who had asked for help were just standing there, looking at the blindfolded people who did not ask for help. It wasn't about the maze. It was an important lesson that asking for help is actually a sign of strength and not a sign of weakness. Show of hands. How many of you sometimes struggle when it comes to asking for help? Okay, that's most of us. And there could be many reasons. We could want to do it on our own, be independent, but one of the main reasons is because we are actually afraid that people will say no. The other day, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts called The Hidden Brain with Shankar Vedantam. And the guest expert, Vanessa Bond, she did the study at Cornell University where she sent out students to go ask perfect strangers for their telephones. And the participants were like, no way, no one's going to lend me their phone. This is an impossible task. Actually, they were quite surprised to find that most people agreed to lend them their phones. Why is that? It's human nature to want to help people out. It helps us connect with one another. It makes us feel useful. And it makes us feel good. So how may we go about asking for help? Well, firstly, we can remember that asking for help is actually a sign of strength. It helps us understand our limitation. It helps us grow as human beings. And secondly, we can start small. Ask for a small favor, and that will eventually grow your confidence.
That's not fair!
Excuse me?
That's not fair!
Oh, I'm sorry everyone, it's just my subconscious talking. What exactly is not fair?
To not be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, how about saying no, huh? I think it's much harder to say no than to ask for help. Why don't you talk about that, huh?
Okay. Show of hands. How many people actually have a hard time saying no to something they actually don't want to do? Oh, okay. okay. Actually, me too. Yeah, because saying no is actually quite hard as well. You know that podcast I was talking about earlier, Hidden Brain? Well, the other week, there was an expert, and her name was Vanessa Patrick, and she said that it's really hard to say no to people for many different reasons, such as we might believe that the only way to maintain our relationships is by saying yes, or we might be afraid of not being liked, or our reputation. We might feel that our reputation will take a hit. Saying no. But sometimes we just have to say no, because she conducted a study, and you know what she discovered? She had participants come in, and she told them, tell me about the last time you said yes to something you really did not want to do. Not surprisingly, many felt resentment, frustration, grumpiness, and those who said no actually felt empowered, they felt confident, and they felt in control. But when do we know to say no? Well, tip, if you don't want to do it today, you're not going to want to do it tomorrow, or the next day, or next month. And the second tip is, like Derek Sivers wrote, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no thank you. Say yes to the things that are meaningful to you, but say no to the things that take away from you working on your own goals and purpose. So in short, it may be hard to ask for help, and it may be hard to say no, but it's easier than we think. It really is. So, do you agree that we will be less afraid to ask for help in the future? Can I get a hell yes?
Hell yes.
And do you disagree that you will say yes to every single request? Can I get a no thank you?
No, thank you.
You've got this.